This is what I do, guys. I don't care if I have a platform of 4 people, 400 people, 4 million people. It doesn't matter. I'm going to say what I want to say, especially when it comes to a personal thing. And the reason why I say it's personal is because I posted a comment. And the reason why I posted this comment is solely for 2 reasons. Number 1, I also did a Tom McDonald reaction to No Lives Matter. I check out other reaction channels and their views and opinions. But it just seems like some of the stuff in this particular reactor's video is contradictory. So he contradicted himself in certain ways. So, of course, me and my triggered butt had to freaking say something. Well, type something. And now I'm actually saying something. And if you're watching this, dude, that's cool. You and your girl, whatever. Second reason is because the title of his channel, Beards and Brains. I can understand the whole beards part. Fine. People have beards. I shave my beard. You can check out other videos. It's starting to grow back. Whatever. But the whole and brains part. So, which one is the beard and which one's the brain? Or is he implying that both have beards and brains? Does that make sense? I'm assuming. Then again, it's probably him responding to these comments because, you know, he's the one obviously clearly with the beard. So is she the one with the brain? But then again, it seems like everything that he says that she's in favor of anyway. So are they supposed to be one person with a beard and they both have brains? I don't know, but having a title like that, you definitely should back that up when it comes to your reactions. And you can make your response to my response if you want to give me clout. I don't care, but that's not what I'm doing this for. You don't have to even watch the video or anything, but this is for the people that are watching. Let's get into it. So he said something along the lines of choice and stuff like that, and I put, you know, no, 2 sides is for the illusion of choice. Pepsi or Coke is the same crap, slightly different taste. Both bad for you. Both can clear car engines. You know, they can clean them and clear it up. Red versus blue. You know, like Crip versus Blood, Dem versus Repub. Also, same thing with Pepsi versus Coke, although a Pepsi can does have red and blue, and it's primarily a blue can. Although the logo has the red and the blue, and then the white for America. But Coke is primarily a red can. Alright, so illusion of choice. 2 wings on the same bird. And then he put interesting perspective. So that's just him just having an opening thought to be polite. I get it. However, and there's always the but, there is always a choice. Choice is not an illusion. When did I say choice was an illusion? I never said that, but we'll get into it. Pepsi versus Coke, I choose water. Great, wonderful, perfect. Red versus blue, I can choose independent or green. Okay. Crip versus Blood, we can choose neutral. That doesn't even make sense. Just, we could choose neutral. Say, where's the brains? Just say, I don't support gangs. It's that easy. Don't limit yourself to only 2 choices. I didn't. That's a poor mentality if you ask me. So right there is kind of like a passive-aggressive thing to say, which is fine. You know, I do believe in the First Amendment. I do believe in freedom of speech. And, you know, I have thicker skin than most, so things don't get to me, although I did say I was triggered. But I'm not triggered, like, as far as me feeling like I'm being personally attacked, but I'm triggered because this type of stuff, and I'll explain more about this point here, but this stuff kind of damages the masses' minds more than it already is. So here's what I put. I didn't say choice is the illusion. That's the output. Which stems upon, here we go, I said the illusion of choice, not choice the illusion. There was only 2 choices. And I know before I just said, you know, cool, whatever, about more than like 2 choices, but pertaining to the context, Biden or Trump. Just a real world example that can apply to us right now. Biden or Trump, get it? Who did you vote for? See? And I asked that to make him think, oh, okay, I see what he's saying. So yeah, I did obviously vote. I didn't vote. Also, my comment wasn't about the minority who chose to opt out of participating, but the majority that do. Tom wouldn't have songs like this if it wasn't for the majority. Like the song, People So Stupid. He's not talking about the minority. He's talking about the majority of people that are stupid. Who has the brains here? And then I also put, the irony is you disagree with me, yet Tom said it himself, which you even acknowledged. Divide and conquer. which is the sole definition of the illusion of choice, by dividing people via differences, choices in parentheses. Then he puts, I think we need to learn how to accept different opinions, views, and choices without being divided. Doesn't make sense. That is the division. The different opinions is what causes the division. I get what he's saying. It means to be able to coexist with each other with different opinions and still being able to be together. But it doesn't work that way because it's not controlled or programmed that way. So you put that. That's why bigotry is dangerous. If we remain open-minded and not so defensive, we can overcome the majority of our differences. But who's the defensive one? I posted a comment. He could have did two things. Number one, he could have just deleted it because it's his channel. Number two, he could have just not responded to it. Or number three, if we did respond to it, he didn't have to be defensive by saying that's a poor mentality if you ask me. There you go. So who's the salty one here? If we remain open-minded and not so defensive, we can overcome the majority of our differences. Unfortunately, the education system failed us. I can agree that the education system itself is a failure, but that isn't what failed us. What failed us is our own choices and our own perceptions and our own things that we strive for or lack thereof, what we should be striving for. Really, is it the education system's fault? Or is it the overlords? And by overlords, I mean, you're born, you have caretakers or parents. Those really are the overlords to people before they turn a certain age. In America, you could be 16 and be adjudicated or whatever. Yeah. But 18's the age where you're freaking, and I meant to say emancipated, not adjudicated. But emancipated, that's what I was thinking. You could be 16 and be emancipated. But 18 is the age of legality. But realistically, it's the parents' fault more than the education system. But, just like I said before about the minority and majority, it's funny how he didn't even catch the whole thing about me talking about the majority. But for him to say, unfortunately, the education system failed us, that would be based on the majority of people. Does that make sense? Because the majority of people are failed by the education system, right? But the majority are the ones that go to public school systems. Not private, not cyber, not homeschool. So you see all the contradictions. Then he put, that's my humbled opinion based on my observations. And that's fine, but don't put beards and brains if you don't even really know other than your observation. Why don't you get an insight on other people's observations? By, thinking outside the box, right? I think he even put something like that, if I recall. The whole don't limit yourself to only two choices, but I could have sworn there was something else. I think it was a different person that said something. Anyway, then I put, accept different opinions, accept different opinions in quotes would mean anything goes in quotes. So if a pedo says, accept my opinion about liking little kids, should I listen to that logic? Should I accept that? Bigotry is a phrase people say when they want to justify their wrongful nature. Meaning, if you're doing something wrong and somebody goes against what you're doing, that's the catchword that you could say to that person. Well, you're a bigot, you're hateful, you're spreading hate. It's all they say. They parrot other people because what they're really saying is shut up and let me sin in peace. Shut up and let me do evil nature in peace. Let me do it without you telling me about myself. Let me do it shamelessly without anyone to hold me accountable of what I'm doing. Period. And then I put, if I'm a bigot, oh well, don't care what people call me. Instead of me typing this out, I'm going to make a video pertaining to these comments here. Sure, I don't have a huge platform, but oh well. Stay tuned or not, doesn't matter either way. Dude, you got to listen, man. The illusion of choice is to get people to believe that they have a choice in the first place. That's how they control people. There's already a script that's written, and they have to fill in slots on certain sides to divide and conquer. Period. Things can't be one-sided because if they want to make money, what's the number one seller other than like sex? Drama, controversy. You don't see any Hollywood movie without some type of conflict, or a book without some type of conflict. Even if there's a happy ending in the end of the movie or the book, it's about those scenes that still have the negative things. People cruising down the street, shooting guns, blowing buildings up, robbing people, doing all these things. But because they're on a mission, you can treat it as satire. Like, oh, well, you know, well, they saved the day. They saved the planet. They stopped the bad guy. But they themselves are still doing bad things to get there. So people excuse it because they fulfilled the mission. Think about that. It's all the time. You even hear jokes about it, like, who's going to pay for the cleanup crew for that? All those people that died, you know, with the cars being smashed and cop cars, you know. No one thinks about that. They only think about the end result, that Mario saved Princess Peach from Bowser or whatever. It's just, you got to think of the entirety of the situation, not just the end result. It's madness. It really is. And that's the script that we're under. That's what we're following. We're following this evil corporation out there that dictates all of this. Oh, well, every 4 years, the election. Then you have people fighting left and right, up and down, all about who's going to be the next president or who's going to be the next Supreme Court ruler or whatever. But realistically, do you think it's a business, it's a monopoly. Think about it. If you had a mansion and you had a party, threw a party, had a bunch of guests come in, do you think that them having these people that don't know anything about crap, and remember, like you said, education system failed people, would you want to give the power of the country, the choice of the direction of your mansion, to people that have a failed education system? Think about that. Would you let them decide what paint goes on your walls, or where to install things, or who should be working with you? No. But you can't tell them that directly, because then they're going to uprise and fight and be mad because their voice isn't heard. So you just pretend to give a crap about their opinion or their views or their choices. So you give them two options. And no matter which option they pick, you're still going to get your agenda fulfilled regardless. So they can pick person A or person B, but both those people are still under you and you're in the shadows. Because secretly someone else owns that mansion, but they're just giving you dominion over it for a short period of time. It's not even your mansion. But I had to say it that way for you to at least get the picture in your head that that person that's making those choices and stuff, that they own the mansion. No, there's someone above them. They're just letting them rent that mansion out without even knowing it. And we do that now with property tax. No one owns their home. Quit paying your property tax. Go ahead. See how long you're going to own your freaking home. You see my point? Everything is manufactured. Everything is artificial. Everything is a grand stage on this earth. Period. That's it. So it's the illusion of choice. You could drink Coke. You could drink Pepsi. People have wars over it. People fight over what's better. What pizza place is better? What beverage is better? Microsoft or Sony, which game console is better? It's the same crap. Android or iPhone. You have literal wars over it. And you're sitting here telling me that there's more than one choice or more than two choices or whatever? Yeah, you can choose not to use that cell phone. You could choose not to drink pop at all. But I chose not to vote. Does that mean that there ain't going to be a president? Because I chose not to vote. See, it's not about the minority. It's about the majority. You get it now? Oh, it's just mind-boggling. Beards and brains. Come on. Get some brains, cool beard. You could take it personal, whatever. I'm not afraid to call out individual channels, but the thing is, it's not about that channel or you guys or whatever. It's about people that have similar mentality or similar observations or viewpoints. I mean, he even put, that's my humbled opinion based on my observation. Well, it's wrong. It's wrong. And if other people have that same mentality, then they're just going to say, well, everything goes. It doesn't matter. And that's how clever the enemy is. Because all this going on is putting me in that spotlight, being that pawn, arguing about his views. But it's to get other people to not follow in those views, so they could be more open-minded, but not open-minded in a way that means accept everything, but open-minded in a way that means don't accept everything. Stand up for truth and freedom and love and be humble. I'm trying to be humble the way I say it, but like I say in other videos, being too polite and too kind doesn't stick. You have to be stern in your voice. You have to be stern in your definitions, in your stance, for people to remember that. Period. Because again, I already said it. What's the number one seller besides sex? Drama. Think about it. And if I wanted clout, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be doing just what the masses want people to do. And that's promote and advocate all the things that human nature clings to. Like rugs. I said it like that because I'm not going to monetize anyway, but still, I don't want the video to get blocked either. Rugs. SX. Oh, they already said that regular word. You get the point. Just everything the masses want, I would follow along in that category. I would just pretend to love all this stuff that goes on, to love all the negative things. But that's it. Video's kind of long. It's whatever. Little rant. As always, may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you. Have a fantastic day. See you in the next video. Just understand that the illusion of choice is a real thing. Divide and conquer. And stop playing into the schemes of the devil. Stop. Can't wait to read the comments on this. Can't wait to watch people's video responses on this too. Because I'll keep going. I'll respond to your response, my response to your response.